The Winnipeg Jets have made a sneaky mid-season signing, as well as multiple Jets injury updates, and we also have a couple moves that the Jets have made before their next game that are going to have Jets fans fired up. We're going to break it all down, but before we do, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. If you're on Jets Digest, about 90% of you who are watching this video are not subscribed to the channel. If you're on Hattrick HQ, about 70% of you who are watching this video are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you get to stay up to date with everything Winnipeg Jets and, of course, around the NHL. And the Winnipeg Jets have made a very interesting mid-season signing here, and not one that's going to impact them this season, but one that will impact them in seasons to come, and we'll get to it right here. Winnipeg has signed Kevin He to his 3-year entry-level contract today. The 4th-round pick is having a brilliant season for the Niagara Ice Dogs in the OHL, and that he is. He has been fantastic so far this season. We'll get to his stats in a second, but he is also, and one thing I wanted to touch on, the first ever Chinese-born player to sign a contract in the NHL. So congrats to him. Groundbreaking stuff there for Kevin He. History has been made in the NHL and, of course, the Winnipeg Jets. So pretty cool. We'll touch on that again in just a second. But so far this season, he has scored 23 goals, has 20 assists for 43 points in 29 games. Good for second in team scoring. He also is a pain to play against. And obviously, Murat has talked about him a ton, and he is a big challenge to play against, and obviously got high praise from some Winnipeg Jets at training camp. And this is a guy in the OHL. I mean, not just him, but the Niagara Ice Dogs, the last couple of seasons had slowly become a bit of a laughingstock in the OHL. Last in the league, the attendance was suffering. Then they go out, they draft this guy. He's slowly developing. He becomes a Winnipeg Jets prospect. They draft him in the 4th round, and he has gone off so far this season. The Niagara Ice Dogs are now one of the best teams in the entire league. They're top 3 in the Ontario Hockey League's Eastern Conference, and he is a big part of that. Obviously, as you can see the stat line, I mean, he has 43 points in 29 games so far this season. I know it's junior hockey, but he is far too good for that, and I don't think he's going to make an impact necessarily this year. Obviously, he's not going to make the team this year, right? This is a signing just to get him signed, and obviously they'll start burning years off his contract after this year, but we'll get to this in a second. He is an 18-year-old forward, right? He's moving into his 19-year-old season, 4th-round pick. If you look at previous seasons, I mean, 34 points in his rookie year for the Niagara Ice Dogs in 66 games, 53 points. He's about to eclipse, like he's very close to eclipsing his career high in the OHL, and they're not even halfway through the season here. So he has been fantastic so far. Obviously, he hasn't played a full season yet in the OHL, but he has been awesome, absolutely fantastic. And again, like I mentioned, Niagara hasn't been good. He's been a minus player year in, year out for that team, although still a bright spot for that team. This year, they put a good combination of players together. He has been not only a bright spot, but I think probably their best player. He's been sensational. So really good news if you are a Winnipeg Jets fan. So he's been fantastic so far this year. And again, one thing I wanted to touch on again to get back to that is the first ever Chinese-born hockey player to sign an NHL contract. Great accomplishment for him and the Jets as well. This is fantastic stuff, making history in the NHL. And a pretty cool story here from the NHL that Kevin He's father started taking him ice skating at small rinks in Beijing malls when he was 4 years old, and got his first taste of organized hockey after his family moved to Montreal at 6 years old. At 12, his family moved to Toronto, where he began playing elite level hockey for North York, and we were just taking a look at that as well. The North York Rangers, which he played for, and says only one game played, but that's funny. OJHL, excuse me. He played obviously in the GTHL in his junior career, but fantastic stuff for the Winnipeg Jets. This is great news. And to shift gears a little bit, congratulations to Kevin He. I think he's going to factor into the Winnipeg Jets lineup in the near future. I think he's going to start making noise next year, really. He's still pretty young, moving into his 19-year-old season. He's still pretty young. I would see him in the AHL very soon, but I think he's going to start making waves. And if the Jets weren't as competitive as they are, I think you'd be on the NHL squad next year if it was any other organization. But in terms of more updates, injury updates, some good news on the injury update front for the Winnipeg Jets, and I think a lot of Jets fans have been waiting for. Look who's finally skating in a regular jersey at practice. And this was from a few days ago. He's now skating in a regular jersey at practice. This was taken December 13th. It was his first time back skating with the team since he was injured on November 29th. So that's great news for the Winnipeg Jets. We'll get into some lineup decisions in a second. When Scott Arniel was asked, when he may return, when we might see Nikolai Ehlers next, obviously Nikolai Ehlers practiced with the NHL Jets in a non-contract jersey. This was a couple days ago again, and he stayed out for a while with the main group. And it doesn't sound like a return is imminent. Scott Arniel said that Ehlers is feeling a lot better every day, and he's continuing to work on getting back to full health, and they want to see how the road trip is going to go first. And this was from this morning, and they're playing the San Jose Sharks tonight at the time of this recording. And from Mitchell Clinton, the return to a regular uniform for Nikolai Ehlers and also David Gustafsson, who suffered a concussion last week, and obviously that 8-1 blowout of the Boston Bruins. Mitchell has the lines and D pairs unchanged from last game, so it appears that Ehlers may need a bit more time, which delays any need to either reassign Chibrikov or waive a player. And in terms of that, Chibrikov, he's been fantastic, so no rush here. Get Ehlers back to 100%. He'll get back into the lineup when he's feeling great. And obviously, they'll go from there. Nikolai Ehlers, they have been missing him. The offense has taken a hit. It has gone into a bit of a lull. It's been getting better the last couple games, and obviously came alive last week against the Boston Bruins, but they are missing a guy like Nikolai Ehlers. And a lot has been made about his contract situation as well, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that heading into the latter half of the season. But some interesting lineup decisions the last couple games. Colin Miller came out Colin Miller went in for Ville Heinola a couple games ago, and Ville Heinola getting scratched instead of Logan Stanley is insane. I totally agree with Hanger Hockey. I think that Ville Heinola, unless they see something they absolutely don't like, you got to give this guy a chance in the NHL level. I feel like, I don't want to say he's too good for the AHL, but he should be in the NHL, and he's not going to get any better, and he's not going to get into any rhythm if you do not play this player. So I think that the Winnipeg Jets, Scott Arniel, have to give this guy a fair shake. I think Jets fans want to see it. I think Jets fans would rather see it than Logan Stanley, that's for sure, because I see you guys in the comments about Logan Stanley all the time, whether it's on Hattrick HQ or Jets Digest. So let me know in the comments how you feel about the Jets signing Kevin He. I think he's going to factor into the Jets' plans shortly. Not this season, but next season. It's either AHL or I think, there could be obviously some talk of him making the squad depending how the lineup looks at that point in time in contract situations. But I think he's going to make some noise in the NHL. This guy is a very skilled player. And, let me know what you think about Nikolai Ehlers. Looks like he will be returning from injury shortly as well. That's good news for Jets fans. And some interesting lineup decisions from Scott Arniel. They're playing a San Jose Sharks team who has been playing somewhat better as of late, not like their early season selves. So should be an interesting matchup. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything NHL and Winnipeg Jets.